Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm trying to make some content early this Sunday morning. Beer Fest was yesterday. The whole town was half drunk or drunk, but not me. We got through it. Drinking our coffee. We're going to run some errands and work out later. Be a good day. I wanted to touch up on clinical depression and severe anxiety and its correlation with drinking. It has ties to just drug use in general. I was diagnosed with both years ago, and I was put on an SSRI, a selective serotonin reuptake inhibitor. Did it help? I think it did. I just feel like those meds aren't meant to be used long term. Some people have nightmare stories they talk about with these meds. For me, after 6 to 8 weeks, it had like a 20-30% effect. It helped. It really did. You have to find the right medication. I got lucky. Sertraline sort of worked for me right off the bat. It's like the off-brand Zoloft. I got lucky. Some people go through numerous different meds. My allergies are acting up from my cat, but we'll be all right. A little stuffy. I'm getting over an upper respiratory virus from last week, but yeah. I've been off of sertraline for over 3 years. I weaned off of it myself when I was laid off and lost insurance. And I don't recommend doing that. I just wasn't paying for labs out of pocket at the time because you have to do labs once a year. Without insurance, that stuff can be very pricey. But I've considered getting back on them at times. But I hate the fact of having to take a pill and then going to fill the script every month. It's a little annoying. But did it help? I mean, you might want to consider it. Some people are against, antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds. Some people are for them. For me, they slightly worked, excuse me. I drank on them too. So I know that's like a no-no. A lot of people I know drink while they're on them. I didn't really have too many issues, but it probably wasn't the smartest thing. I sort of wanted to see how it would be completely sober on them for many months. I know I had my sober sprees while on them. I was only on them for less than a year. But yeah, with depression and anxiety, I still experience it. Sometimes I just don't want to go out in public, or if I'm around a bunch of people, I'll lock up a little bit. Sometimes I'm very social. It all depends on my brain and how I'm feeling. And I'm very introverted at times. I can keep to myself in my own little domain, and that's that. As far as depression, it's a weird territory because anyone who said some people when they're just sad, they just, oh, I'm depressed, I'm so depressed. I think some people just tag themselves with depression when it being sad and just everyone has normal emotions, right? But a constant depression is much different than just being sad for a day or two, or once or twice a month. Everyone has those flows. Now, if someone has an emotional disorder, like bipolar or some type of mental issue where their brain can't regulate right and their swings are much higher and lower, now that's a whole different story. But your average person going to have many highs and lows. But for someone in the grips of true depression, not just being sad once a month, it's your average person levels are here and they start down here every day and they're there. So when the average person's going up and down up here at this tier, they're down here doing this. So they're always at a low level, just emotionally drained, just no hope. It's scary. I've been there. I'm more near the median now. It takes time. But when you're constantly in that low state, you seek, self-medication. That's like alcohol and drugs. You want to self-soothe. Retail therapy, you self-soothe. You want to feel good. Anything to not feel in that state, right? And that's a big part of it. For some people, they want that escape. They want to numb from the lack of emotion and like just being bleh all the time. I've been there many years ago. I've discussed it in the past, how deep into depression I've gotten. Now it's just more of like your average swings. I don't think I'm that depressed anymore. Sometimes it'll creep up on me when I'm a little exhausted. That's what I can't recommend the gym enough. It's my biggest antidepressant and stress relief, and that's why I do it so consistently. That and content, like just making funny, stupid stuff, even if it gets 30 views, it's a fun release for me. It gets some energy out of me. But the anxiety, I don't know. The underlying pieces, it's like a ripple effect throughout your life. Like there may always be a hint of depression and anxiety inside of me, and until I pass away. And I'm fine with that. I'm used to it. I've learned to live with it. And I'm learning to not, self-medicate to soothe those things. And it is what it is. Some days are worse than others. And I know there's probably many people way deeper into depression than I ever was. And I know there's some people that just claim sadness or they claim depression when they're just like having their normal ebbs and flows, and they just try to people try to tag themselves and go to extremes, but that is what it is. I was diagnosed, and I don't know, maybe one day I'll go back on an SSRI for my anxiety. It's just, as of right now, I'm just sort of like holding back on that. And life's been pretty good. It's more of just being like irritable and my anger, which I've been very open about, rather than like depression. I get like triggered easily without my vices, the nicotine, the alcohol, giving all of it up besides, caffeine, which that'll be next on my list. And then I'll have overcome everything. I drink way too much caffeine, as I've stated. And I'm going to try to document my progress when I do my caffeine detox for a week. I'm going to try to log every day or two. I've done it before I didn't want a whole year, no caffeine in 3 months, so I can do it again. But this time, I'm drinking a significant amount more than I was before, so it'll be challenging. Like quitting drinking. Oh, my cat says hi. Quitting drinking, it's like the oral fixation carried over to coffee. When I would drink an absorbent amount of beer, liquor, always having a drink it's sort of like that. And it's like supplementing one drug for another. But I'd rather have a caffeine problem than an alcohol problem. It's still ridiculous though. Like on the weekends I can drink a pot in the morning and a pot in the evening, but I make it rather weak, and it's straight black coffee. So like I'm not intaking carbs or calories. It's basically it's like water. It's like bean water basically. You know what I mean? So it's like it's not super strong, and it's like there's no caloric issue there, so that's good. It's just the caffeine crash is what's bad. I think it's messing with my sleep cycle, and yeah, that caffeine crash in the evening is just bad. Like it's just sort of it's nonsensical. I don't know why I do it, but I'm gonna try to fix it. But yeah, anyways, those two things. Just really seek hobbies like guitar playing and the gym. It's in work. Like I'm at work 10 hours a day. I play guitar, gym in the morning. And it's like these things keep me going. It keeps me busy. This weekend, I've been playing a lot of Diablo 4. That's been keeping me busy. Didn't even really faze me to drink while playing that. Beer Fest was yesterday. Didn't really faze me. you know, you think about it, you get to getting a little bit of FOMO, but everything's good. People are waking up with hangovers this morning while I'm going. And I'll always remind myself of that. But yeah. And there's some people with way more severe mental and physical issues, they're dealing with. But I just wanted to touch on, depression and anxiety, clinical depression and severe anxiety. Because I can relate to both, and they're not fun. And getting on or off medication can be scary. And constantly self-soothing with alcohol or whatever it is, it's a never-ending cycle, and it's not going to end. You're going to keep soothing. You got to let those rooted issues you're numbing out come to the surface, and you got to learn to live with it, whether it be emotional trauma, your mental issues with anxiety and depression or whatever it may be. You have to let it come to the surface, and you got to learn to live with it and deal with it. Because, while you're using, you're suppressing these things actively, and it's the truth. Like, I know that's what it is. And a lot of people will tell you these things. You got to let them come to the surface, and you have to take care of them, and it gets easier in time. And it's not easy. It really isn't, but it's definitely doable. And yeah, that's about it.